So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. iPhone 12 Pro Max versus iPad Pro 2020. Now, I'm making this video a little bit late because a new iPad is coming, and I just want to see how the A14 does stack up against the A12Z in overall performance, because when the new iPad comes, we're going to see how the M1 stacks up next to the A12Z and the A14. Alright, so we're going to see which one can boot up faster. We'll begin with the iPhone 12 Pro Max in 3, 2, 1. And I just hit the button. We're going to see how fast does the iPhone 12 Pro Max get to the boot screen. So you can see right here, we're at about 9 seconds so far. And shockingly, the iPhone XR was booting up very fast the other day, but we'll see how this one does here in the iPhone 12 Pro Max. You can see right around 19 to 20 seconds, give or take. I might have been a hair off, but pretty close to 19 to 20 seconds to turn on with 14.5.1. Okay, guys, so let's see how long it does take for the iPad Pro 2020 to boot up 11-inch in 3, 2, 1. And we got it in perfectly. So let's see where it does stand when it comes to the overall boot up. Now, the iPad Pro will now show the Apple logo in landscape if you are on 14.5 and you have the Magic Keyboard attached. But let's see if this can beat the iPhone 12 Pro Max to the boot screen here, or to the main screen here on iOS 14.5.1, and right around the same time. So even though this is an A12 series chip, it's booting up around the same time as the A14 Bionic over here on the right. All right, guys, so let's compare the chipsets before we get into the actual video. You'll see on both of them, we do have ourselves an Apple A14 Bionic chipset clocked in at 2.99 gigahertz, 6 gigabytes of RAM, 14.5.1. iPad Pro 11 over here, we are looking at Apple A12Z, 2.49 gigahertz, 6 gigabytes of RAM, iOS 14.5.1. Look at the bezels difference on an iPad, but you need area before you say, oh, this guy, man, of course you need bezels to hold an iPad. I know, I get it, but I'm just saying, look at the difference. It's pretty obvious. And then before he starts saying, oh, what is this guy doing? He's comparing an iPhone to an iPad. He makes no sense. You don't gotta watch it if you don't like it. There's a door, son. Let's get into the speed test. You can see everything closed out on both. We're gonna go into Instagram, and you can see Instagram looks like it was a little faster for the iPhone over there. We'll come back out of there. We're gonna go into Twitter, and you'll see Twitter first there to the Apple A14. Let's get up out of there. We're gonna go into eBay, and that one's gonna go to iPad Pro. Remember, the apps are optimized for both. Let's go into Best Buy, and you can see this one's going to the iPhone. So trading blows a little bit here. Coming home, the gesture identical. We're gonna go into Starbucks, and you'll see this does open faster for the A14. Let's head up out of there. We're gonna go into Groupon. You can see Groupon first there for the left. We're gonna go into categories. It did have to load a little more content on the iPad, but you'll see the A12Z, even though this is not an A14 type chipset, Apple decided to go with the Z version of A12. It's still just about as fast. Let's go into ESPN. And you can see an even iPad app has a little more information, but still the iPhone was faster. We're gonna head up out of there. We're gonna go into PUBG. And of course, we're gonna take gaming on an iPad every time over an iPhone, aren't we? Because it's just a much better experience. It's much larger, but which one could load this up faster? You're actually gonna be able to load this up quicker on your pocket iPhone. We'll have to see here. So yeah, it's looking like the A14, but I don't think this is gonna last long, iPhone. I don't think it's gonna last long, because once the M1 comes to the iPad, we might find ourselves to have even better performance than that guy over there. So far the iPhone 12 Pro Max beating on this iPad. Let's go into Mortal Kombat. But, you know, surprisingly, just because, you know, it's an A12, this thing is keeping up very well next to A14, but the iPhone 12 Pro Max is showing its stuff with that A14. That thing is a beast. It's like a miniature M1 in the phone right there. It's like a baby version of it, but I think we're gonna see M1 and iPhone someday. I really do. Once Apple has nothing else to do, they're gonna just cram, I think, an M1 into the iPhone series. Let me know what you think about that. But the Mortal Kombat game faster for the iPhone as well. Maybe this is because it's got a load, you know, on such a smaller screen, it probably doesn't take as much power. I'm not sure. Let's go into temper one, but it could just be the CPU itself. It could just be that the A12Z is not as quick as an Apple A14, but you can see it can load these games like nothing. These baby games. We'll go into Crossy Road right here, and you'll see which one could load this one up first, and it's going to look like the iPhone 12 Pro Max in the lead again. Says Nick, bro, what are you doing? I'm the fastest kid on the block right here. We're gonna go to Premiere Rush right here and see which one is quicker to launch this application right here. And you'll see that the iPhone 12 Pro Max in the lead by a hair. We're gonna go into Luma Fusion right here and see what kind of performance we can get here opening these applications up, and that's the iPhone again. So I think it's becoming pretty evident which one is faster here, at least in the single core. We're gonna go into iMovie, and you'll see that's gonna be the iPhone. And keep in mind, you could basically do all of the same things on both of these products. You know, you can do a lot more multitasking for the iPad, but you can get things done on both of these in, you know, pretty similar fashions. We're gonna go into 3D Mark. It's just the iPhone is not as convenient as using an iPad with a Magic Keyboard, obviously. But I would say the iPad kept up pretty well, but the A14 looking faster here in these single core apps. But can the M1 iPad that's coming soon to the channel beat on the A14? We're gonna have to find that out soon. All right, so we're just gonna go through these applications and see if we do get any reloads on either. I don't think it's gonna happen here. It doesn't have to be accurate. We're just trying to see if they reload anything in this video. So you can see so far in Premiere Rush, we got nothing. Crossy Road right here, nothing on either. So pretty good so far. Nothing happening to speak of right here. We're gonna go into Mortal Kombat, nothing to speak of here either. We're gonna head over here into PUBG Mobile and see how they do in this respect. Pretty good there again. And we'll go into ESPN, and you'll see they both had that. We're gonna go into Groupon. We're not gonna get any reloads. This is 6 gigabytes of RAM on both of them. We're gonna go into Starbucks, and you'll see pretty good. We'll go into Best Buy, pretty good there. We'll go into eBay. And yeah, this is where Apple really starts to shine when they put 6 gigs of RAM or more in their devices. They don't really reload anything at that point. It feels more like a 12 gig of RAM Android phone when Apple has 6 gigabytes of RAM. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and do this iMovie render. Let's see which one can do this task faster. We're gonna go ahead and render this video out in 3, 2, 1. It's only a 1-minute clip, so I expect them to fly through this, but which one is gonna finish the task quicker? Let's see if the iPad is better optimized for stuff like this. We're gonna see right here, can the A14 take it down? And no, it looks like the iPad is going to be the winner here in this video render test. So maybe this is more optimized for stuff like this versus just opening up applications day to day. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and head into Geekbench and see which one can do a better Geekbench score. 14.5.1, we had some issues with the iPhone 11 in the prior speed test. Let's see what happens here. I'll be back when they are done. All right, guys, so our final Geekbench scores are in, and you can see that we do get a higher score on single core for the iPhone and a higher by far on the multi-core for the iPad. So that might explain why it was doing better in the video rendering. Things that are going to require a little bit more power might perform better here for the iPad, whereas when we were doing the basic stuff, which was a lot of this video, the iPhone 12 Pro Max was a little bit quicker. So those are more in line with the scores I would expect from each of these products. All right, so Wildlife benchmarks are an absolute crushing loss to the iPhone 12 Pro Max, 8299 with a 49 FPS frame rate average. Now, these are great scores for the iPhone 12 Pro Max, but take a look at these iPad scores right here. 13,015 with an average frame rate of 77.9. Now this does have ProMotion display, which is why the frame rate is higher, but a much higher score as well. So if you can only have one, which one would be your primary iPad OS or iPhone or iOS on the iPhone over here? Let me know which one you think is the better overall performer for day-to-day stuff you're going to do on these operating systems. And stay tuned, because I'm going to do another weird comparison like this where we compare the iPad that's coming out later this month. I already pre-ordered the M1 iPad. We'll compare this to the iPhone. We'll even compare it to the older A12Z from this model year right here. So thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Nick here. Be sure to be well. I'll catch you all in the next one, and peace.